George Mason here in Washington. Kafelnikov serving from the far side. First game, first set, best of 3 for the title. Kafelnikov opens quickly.
Kafelnikov, 25 years old, 6'3", tremendous mover for a guy with height like that. He's been high. He's #1 in May this year. He got to #1. And he is again playing well.
First service ace for Kafelnikov, 30 love. Got a very easy motion leap on that serve. He could serve all day long in 5 sets and never get tired. Goes wide, and so Kafelnikov quickly to 40 love.
There's Larry Stefanki, Evgeny Kafelnikov's coach. Larry on a Palm Springs, California. University of California, Berkeley.
Yeah, an old bear.
Player.
Could serve and volley, that Stefanki could, I'll tell you.
Longtime tour veteran who had a number of important titles and got as high as 30 in the world. And certainly he has had a great influence on Kafelnikov on getting his motivation and his intensity on court to the right level. Here's another look at Larry.
First double fault for Kafelnikov. You see him with that hat on now. There is definitely a factor over there with that sun. As you see him look up, he's going to have to adjust his toss slightly because the sun right in his eyes from that far side. Agassi slides one up the line, Lee.
Andre Agassi at his best. And I'll tell you, when he can command the court like that, particularly when he's playing balls like this from the middle of the court, see how far inside the baseline he is? That's when he can do the most damage. Look at the preparation on the backhand. Nice and firm right at the hit. He was coming in behind that one, Barry, so look for Agassi to move forward on good shots like that.
Good. No, it's long. Just over the baseline. Agassi missing. We're off to a great start. We've got a match on our hands. Stay with us on Fox Sports Net. Evgeny Kafelnikov, the #1 seed, now up 1 love. First set. Agassi to serve in the second game of the first set. Agassi serving from that far side. Again, that sun will be a factor.
15
Agassi has served extremely well this week. He has yet to lose his serve.
Well, that is going to be a key for him today, is to serve well and keep holding serve. And I tell you, if he can get a couple free points on his serve, that's only going to help him.
You saw him there checking it out. He's going to move over just about a foot. Just catches the tape. These guys have played 6 times before. Leaf Kafelnikov with the lead.
Well, that is an edge for Kafelnikov that is significant.
In that last match in Montreal just a couple of weeks ago, 6-1, 6-4 for Kafelnikov. As Agassi drills an ace. His first of the match out wide. 103 miles per hour. Took something off of it.
They played a key Davis Cup match last year. And Kafelnikov got Agassi. So Kafelnikov has played and defeated Agassi in some key matches.
Solid two-hander. We are at 1 game all. First set.
1 game all.
Leafs Game Plan is brought to you by Prudential.
Well, Kafelnikov is going to have to weather the storm from Agassi, all those attacking, dominating shots, but he himself will have to attack that short ball and keep his unforced errors down. Andre Agassi is going to have to dictate with his ground strokes, try and wear Kafelnikov down on this slow hard court, and when he can, close out with the volley. And I think we're seeing that today on this slower court. Agassi is going to wear down Kafelnikov, try and get him moving side to side, look for that short one, bust one, and get in and volley.
Love 15. Kafelnikov with a miss hit on that first point. Right on the baseline. Wow. Just long.
That was an amazing rally. How deep those two guys were hitting the ball. It was within a 3 feet radius of the baseline. I mean, remarkable depth from both guys.
Early chance now for Agassi. Love 30. Look at that concentration.
15-50.
Kafelnikov spins it wide for his second ace. Oh, yes. You can't hit the ball any cleaner from both sides.
And these guys are really trading some shots. Again, Kafelnikov going from defense to offense in a heartbeat. I mean, that two-hander up the line, he just scorched it.
Well, they've got middleweight stats, but these guys are heavyweights when they hit that ball. Second serve, 30 all. The lob right on the baseline, just catches that baseline. Perfect timing from Agassi on the topspin lob.
Well, Agassi can hurt you in so many ways. When you attack him, he can pass you with a bullet or get that quick lob up over your head and bring it down with topspin inside the baseline. So he pulls up on the back of the ball. That gives the ball that topspin that makes it dip inside the baseline.
Second serve, break point. And a clean winner for Agassi on the run up the line. And Agassi has broken in the third game of the first set. Brilliant tennis from both players. Stay with us. And during each set this year on Fox Sports Net, we'll be selecting a Ginsana Extra Energy point for outstanding effort and energy. Agassi serving now, up a break, 2-1, fourth game, first set. Winners just keep flowing off both sides.
And here's Agassi's service games this week. Look at that, no service breaks. Saved 9 break points, 21 aces. I mean, he has been producing on the serve.
Well, he's basically 100% in both of those categories. Has yet to lose his serve, 100% there. And he was down 9 break points coming into this match, won them all. So that's a great record.
Yeah, he is playing the big points well. And that's what makes him doubly tough to beat. I mean, you're always on the run when you play Agassi.
Andre ready to pick that ball up. The kid was a little too quick. Double fault.
15-50.
Well, we jinxed him for sure there, Barry, telling him how well he'd done on his serve.
Yeah.
Throws in his first double.
I talked to Todd Martin as we walked in here today, and Todd was saying yesterday he was very impressed with Agassi's serve. He says his serve has definitely improved. Net court, it'll go wide.
Well, that's some bad luck for Agassi there. I think he played a good point, moved forward, pretty good volley, and that would have been an overhead winner if it hadn't hit the tape and bounded wide.
Well, here is the 10th game of the tournament where Agassi has been down a break point. We'll see if he can keep that record going. 15-40. He saves one. Still break point.
It's interesting to watch Agassi on his serve. He likes to use this serve out wide to open up the court. And look at all that open court he has to play into. And now on the backhand side, he likes to go out wide here and open up the court over here. So let's see if he can get out wide.
just long. Hits the net, and there it is. The first time Agassi has been broken. It's 2 games all.
2 games all.
Well, before the action today, we had a chance to talk to both coaches about how their horses are going to do today.
He's going to have to serve better than he's been serving. He's been serving 50%. He's got to bring that up to 70% because Andre, let's face it, he's the best returner in the game besides maybe Evgeny. And he's going to try to transition, play D, and then take it to offense and come into net. That's what, you know, we've talked about, and hopefully he can execute.
Well, when they played in Montreal, the court was a little quicker, and he wasn't able to control the points. I mean, Kafelnikov hit the ball very deep, and Andre seemed like he was on defense a lot. And obviously, the big key in that match, too, Andre didn't serve very well. So I think if he continues to serve the way he's been serving, and he needs to take control off the first ball, he can't let Evgeny dictate play, and Andre needs to really step up on his forehand today.
We'll see if he can do that today.
Well, those are good words from both coaches. They know their players so well, and you know, when Agassi is dictating play, that's when he is at his best. Agassi on the defensive is not as good as Agassi from the middle of the court.
Who would you pick in a Gilbert-Stefanki shootout? I think Gilbert might out-ugly him.
Well, Gilbert was the master of defense, you know. He'd give you nothing, and then you come in, he'd pass.
15, 30.
Well, we've had 2 successive service breaks, and now Agassi is pushing here for a third. He had a break in the last game, but lost his serve, and here he is now putting the pressure right back on Kafelnikov.
Again, he's taking a little extra time, looks over. Huge high lob. That's good. And a great play from Agassi. Makes Kafelnikov hit into that sun from the far side. That's got to be the highest lob we've seen all week.
Well, just an amazing defensive lob. Again, he's looking up into some bright light there. The sun right up in his eyes.
Wow.
But again, that ball really had a long way to drop before Kafelnikov could even make a play on it.
Even when he lets it drop, the ball bounces about 30 feet after that.
It's an awkward shot to play, and an interesting play from Agassi. It's almost like he conceded the point, I felt.
Yeah. That's long.
30, 40.
Boy, and he is really cracking the ball, isn't he? That return just really exploded off the racket.
Kafelnikov in with a 118-mile-per-hour serve at 30-40. It's deuce.
Kafelnikov is not known as a big serving player, you know, yet, as Agassi says, is very effective. And there's a good example of it there. A flat slicing serve out wide.
No.
Advantage, Kafelnikov.
Go long, and so Kafelnikov from 15-40 down, now with a chance to go up 3-2.
Net versus.
That first serve. Long, a little delay in the call. 3-2 Kafelnikov, first set. Legg Mason Tennis Classic championship match from William H.G. Fitzgerald Center here in Washington, D.C., Rock Creek Park. An absolute packed house, 7,523 capacity. My guess is there's a few standing room folks as well. 3-2 Kafelnikov. First set. on the sideline. Agassi waiting for that call on the sideline. Let's listen.
I didn't see that one out.
Lars Groff in the chair. He's not going to overrule. Let's have another look.
Tell me you see that mark out though, right?
Andre's still talking to him, saying, where's the mark? Solid shot up the line.
Well, Agassi has played well, and he has not lost a set here this week. Took out Fabrice Santoro of France in the quarterfinals. And Todd Martin, the number 7 player in the world, comfortably at 6'4", 6'2" in the semis. So he has had a very convincing week.
30-15.
They call on what looked like it might have been a fault. Agassi got a break there. 30-15 Agassi.
And you can see how those free service points are key for Agassi.
That will go long.
40-15.
And Kafelnikov doesn't give you a lot of unforced errors. I mean, that's a good feeling when you're Andre Agassi, to get another error, too.
That will go wide, and so Agassi holds easily. We are at 3 games all. First set.
Well, both these guys have won over 40 matches this year on tour. You can see they're very strong on hard courts, both playing well under pressure. Kafelnikov winning 2 titles. So has Andre Agassi.
Retired to win 42 matches, Gustavo Kuerten. Be a good trivia question for the folks out there. Who has won the most matches this year? Kuerten. Floats long.
Evgeny Kafelnikov has had to battle here. He had a close match against Zib in the quarterfinals and Nicholas Kiefer in the semifinals. Wayne Black took him to 3 early on, but certainly he is used to playing a lot of tennis. That's when he plays his best.
Correction, and then an overrule by the umpire. Now Kafelnikov's going to ask about this one.
As a fault. It's on the line, but it's on a long line.
Wow, Lars Groff saying that it hit the sideline, but long. Well, that's a pair of good eyes in the chair today. A double fault, and now love 30 on the 7th game here. Another chance for Agassi to break.
Larry Stefanki, Kafelnikov's coach.
Oh, that's a big serve down the center, 117 miles per hour.
He's won 39% of his return games this year, and that's the best on the ATP Tour. So the statistics back up what everyone says, that Andre Agassi has the best return game on the tour. Again, he plays this lob a little bit better than earlier. Really waits on it, hits it at the last second. And Barry, if you can wait on a shot like that and hold it, you really freeze your opponent. You don't let him get ready to move to that shot.
That was great deception there. Everybody thought he was going to the backhand side, and then he just pulled it down the line. 2 lets in a row. No net court judge. The electronic sensor on top of that net calling those lets. There it is. Agassi with not a sitter, but certainly a playable backhand volley. Does a little too much with it. misses, and Kafelnikov holds 4-3. Kafelnikov. When we return, we're going to have a tennis tip from my colleague, Leif Shires. He'll tell us how to play this game.
Leaf's tips are brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Today's championship match between Andre Agassi and Yevgeny Kafelnikov features two strategically sound baseline players. Andre Agassi likes to play right on the baseline or in front of it. He's looking to pound those ground strokes and create winning chances in front of the baseline. Yevgeny Kafelnikov likes to play behind the baseline, a little more defensive in nature, but he is also looking for his opportunities to move forward and crunch those groundies. Don't be fooled by these great baseline players. They do like to come forward and they do like to volley. Let's see how they do that today. See if you can apply those to your baseline games, how these great players manage the court. And that is your Fox Sports Net tennis tip for today.
All right, Lee, I listened carefully. Since I have never been a baseliner, that's not going to affect me at all today.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see. It really is a battle of real estate. I mean, if Kafelnikov can keep the ball out of the center of the court, I mean, that's where Agassi's office is. I mean, Gretzky's was behind the net in ice hockey. I mean, Andre Agassi's is in the center of the court, is step in front of the baseline, and that's where he does his most damage.
Agassi now quickly to 40 love, trying to get to 4-all.
Agassi.
Fox Sports News primetime. Keith Olbermann and Kevin Fraser bring you all of the day's scores, highlights, and breaking stories nightly at 10 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listings. Fox Sports News primetime. 4-all now, first set.
15.
Kafelnikov down the center with ace number 3, 118 miles per hour. A foot fault called from the far side.
15.
Shook him up. It's a double fault. There is the linesman who called the foot fault. Lee, if you get a foot fault called against you, don't you kind of slow down or at least look over at the guy and say, hey, what did I do?
Yeah, was it my front toe or was it my back foot?
Open court. Kafelnikov with that beautiful forehand.
30-15.
Again, the first serve really sets up this chance. Again, Kafelnikov likes to move forward. Look at how quickly he gets set. I mean, he's ready to hit that ball.
Reminded me of the Steffi Graf forehand. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing that anymore with her retirement. A real pity. Yes, into the open court with a forehand volley.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about in the tip. Andre Agassi playing in front of the baseline. Again, looking to move forward and close out some of those floating shots. I mean, that's just great play from Andre.
40-30.
Wow, it's number 4 down the center.
But Kafelnikov is serving well today. That was a nice serve right down the tee.
Another big serve and a better volley, and Kafelnikov. A solid game goes to 5-4. Yevgeny Kafelnikov now up 5-4. Agassi serving to stay alive here in the first set. Down 4-5. Crucial games right here. He'll let it go. Agassi has had great success here in the nation's capital through the years.
He's won 4 titles and he's lost only 1 set in 20 matches in the years he's won the tournament. And remember, he's not lost a set yet this week.
It's quite a record, going for his 5th title today. A deep return set it up.
Exactly. Again, Kafelnikov dictating play from the first shot. And this is something he does well too. His play with strength from the middle of the court. Great preparation.
30-15.
30-15. Agassi 2 points away from tying this thing up at 5 games all. Wide.
Wow. These guys are just ripping ground strokes. I mean, that's just an amazing exchange. And the thing about Kafelnikov that's so impressive is that he can stand up to the pressure with Agassi. I mean, he likes the pace. So this is a real challenge for Agassi now. Try and carve out a victory against this guy who is so tough.
Just missing long. Andre has another look. Miss hit by Kafelnikov. A rare miss hit leap off that return of serve. Set up the short ball.
40.
Again, watch the preparation. Shoulder turn. And then he really throws the racket. You see he gets tremendous torque. He throws the arm, the trunk of his body through that shot. It's not just an army shot. He really puts the full weight of his body through it.
Solid second serve, and Agassi ties this first upward at 5 games all. Let's have a look now at our FedEx fastest deliveries for the entire week and the year. Look at this. Gamble 134 leaf. Very impressive.
That's right. Todd Martin serving well. Kafelnikov in at 124 and Agassi in at 123. So some guys serving some bombs out here. A little too much there. When you can take a player outside the doubles alley, you really put him in trouble. He's got to come up with something special, and I think Agassi senses that he's got to hit something big here. So you get the unforced error. We saw Todd Martin do that so beautifully last night. He had a couple of streamers down the line against Agassi.
Tremendous pace from the baseline from both players.
Again, one of the tour Ironmen, 55 or more matches in the last 3 years, and it's remarkable to have so many wins, so many years consecutively.
For Thomas Schmidt, he used to play about 50 tournaments a year.
Yeah.
He always had that record.
30-15.
Kafelnikov mixing that serve up so well, spins it out wide, only 87 miles per hour. Nice change of pace. Just too solid from Kafelnikov. Again, the great depth.
Well, that time Kafelnikov really dictated play. Set up this forehand. He's just not making any mistakes on the forehand side today.
To outmaneuver Agassi from the baseline is a great accomplishment. He moves so well. Just wide. Double fault number 4 from Kafelnikov. good. Wow. He drills the biggest forehand he's hit in this entire match. Gilbert can't even believe it.
I think it might be his entire life. I mean, he just throws everything into this forehand. Look at that. That is just, that one had smoke come off it.
Oh, just
Kafelnikov.
over the baseline. Agassi runs around, thought he had the winner. Barscroft verifies that call. Will go long and Kafelnikov holds. When we return, Agassi serves to stay in the first set. A picture-perfect day here in Washington for this championship match as Agassi now in the near court trying to get into a tiebreak. Just catches the tape. Kafelnikov would have handled that ball. He was on it.
Pretty nice volley here from Kafelnikov. He plays some great doubles as well. He's not playing as much doubles these days. He's really focusing on getting that #1 ranking in singles, so he's not playing as much doubles, but nice looking volley.
Just too good. It does not get any better, Leaf. Both players just running each other off the court.
Brilliant tennis. Agassi's backhand was right in the corner. Kafelnikov still got it back.
Yeah.
I mean, he moves well for a guy who's 6 feet 3 inches tall.
No call right on the sideline. Ace number 3 for Agassi. Another solid serve out to the Kafelnikov forehand. He is not afraid to hit to that strength.
Well, he's gotten some easy points off it, and another one there.
Ooh, big second serve right on the sideline. Agassi takes a big chance. Ace number 4. It is absolutely packed here. And we are ready now for a tiebreak. This place holds 7,523, and I guarantee you there's more than that in here today. Not an empty seat, standing room only. We've got a tiebreak.
And it's interesting, Barry, Agassi changing rackets here right as the tiebreaker begins. I talked to the stringers. They string all his rackets fresh each day. And one of the reasons he changed the rackets now is he feels that the rackets get a little bit loose, a little bit soft. So he likes to have a nice tight racket. And I'm sure he's thinking, I want to have a nice tight racket here for this tiebreaker because it means a lot.
He's moving well in, but in front of that baseline on the return. He'll take a step. Now he's back. You rarely see him move behind the baseline, Leaf, and he did it on that return. I was surprised. Normally he takes the step in to return.
He strings those rackets at about 63 pounds. So it's pretty tight. Boy, that was a great shot from Agassi. He held that ball He tried to hit it at the last second and allowed Kafelnikov to move to his left, and he hit behind him.
1 point all, first player to reach 7 with a 2-point lead, a minimum 2-point lead. Winless. It's good.
Agassi again dictating play from the middle of the court. That's where he wants to be. I mean, he's drawn a game plan and he's executing it.
Like it might have been a double. Agassi had another look. Very close call on that second serve.
Well, occasionally, Barry, when the ball hits the line, it skids, and it looks like it skids. You can see how Agassi really is handcuffed by this ball. It skids in on his hands.
Yeah.
So that makes me think it might have caught the edge of the line.
No.
3-2, Kafelnikov.
Another service ace, the 5th for Agassi. 3 points all in the tiebreak.
3-all.
A great motion. And he is really hammering his serve today.
Very solid serve out wide. Well, the U.S. Open just moments away down the road in Flushing Meadow. The draw will be made on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. This match very crucial for that draw. Whoever wins today looks like a number 2 seed, and in the opposite half from Pete Sampras.
Well, 2 first serves from Agassi, and he wins his 2 service points. Boy, it sets up this short ball. And again, great faith and trust in those ground strokes.
Good shot. He should win it, and he does. Great footwork from Agassi. Wild leap. He changed directions 4 times.
Well, incredible play from Agassi. I mean, he was really on the move and stretched out by Kafelnikov. This time it's Agassi who comes up with some great defense. He gets that volley down, has some time, and he just blisters that backhand down the line.
Second serve now. 3-5, Kafelnikov. And an error off the 2-hander, and now Andre Agassi at set point.
6-3, Agassi.
Good. Agassi from the baseline drills the overhead. Fantastic shot, Leif, and this crowd goes nuts.
Unbelievable.
And so Andre Agassi wins the first set. Spectacular tennis. And overhead from the baseline. Stay with us. Welcome back to center court. Legg Mason Tennis Classic. Spectacular tennis so far today. Agassi. Brilliant play in that first set. Well, we're joined by the CEO of Legg Mason, Chip Mason. Good to have you with us, Chip. And,
good to be with you all again.
How's your tennis game coming this year?
Not any level like this.
It's been spectacular, hasn't it?
Oh, particularly that closing That was incredible. I mean, the power at which they're hitting this ball is just...
We've been here almost 3 or 4 years, and I'll tell you what, this to me is the best tennis we've seen in maybe 3 or 4 years at your tournament.
Well, it just, the way the whole tournament has unfolded, what's happened, the reaction today with this sellout crowd and people trying to find tickets, it's hard to believe that we have such an amazing tournament going here and ended up with exactly the players you wanted and setting up what should be a factor for the U.S. Open.
Absolutely. This is a crucial match. We said earlier, whoever wins is going to get seeded 2, and that's very important next week. Chip, tell us a little bit about Legg Mason and sports in general. I know this is a major undertaking for you each year, but why are you guys so involved in this event?
Well, we're in it probably for several reasons. Certainly, we think it's important to the Washington community and attaches us to the community, which is critically important to us from a business corporate standpoint. But rarely do you get an opportunity to do something that also gives you the opportunity this does to have the inner city kids in Washington be the beneficiaries of what happens. I mean, that doesn't happen that often that you get that opportunity.
Another spectacular point.
Whoop. Well, Kafelnikov looks like he's picked it up even a higher notch. I mean, he knows he's got to do something special now. I mean, what a key opportunity now for Kafelnikov. He's broken once in the first set. But this would be a big asset for him if he could get a nose ahead in the second.
And Agassi, when he needs it, another service ace, his 6th of the match.
Again, a great angle out.
Most of his aces, Leaf, have been out to that backhand side.
And that's a good way to go when you're playing against a guy with a two-handed backhand. You really got to stretch him out with those 2 hands. That way you open up the court to attack the other way.
I don't know how you could have expected a match any better than this so far.
It's just been the best tennis we've seen in a long time, Chip. Just tremendous winners. Now a chance for Agassi to hold here in the first game of the second set. Another big serve. Chip Mason, thanks a million for being with us. A dream final for the sponsor this year.
Good to see you.
Great seeing you.
We'll be back with more from Washington right after this. Andre Agassi with the first set in a tiebreak. Now 1-love in the second. Great play continues. Another high lob. He's there. I don't believe it. He cannot make a mistake right now.
And here are the first set stats, and look at how close it is throughout. I'll tell you, the key difference, I think, has been how well Agassi has served. He's definitely been to the net and very effective when he moves forward. I think that's been a key for him. Serving well and finishing the points at the net.
And second serve aces, Leaf. I mean, that is spectacular. Kafelnikov about ready to hit that ball in the air, moved back, got caught, and now he's in trouble. Love 30.
Well, some amazing changes of pace, real variety from Agassi. Again, he doesn't know whether to play this lob on the fly.
Yeah.
Look at, he gets caught out of position. I'll tell you, you don't see Kafelnikov in a position like that. A bad mistake there.
Second serve now, Love 30, 1-love Agassi. Big points here early in the second set.
Well, Barry, that's just great defense. Andre Agassi got the first passing shot down. He forced Kafelnikov to volley up. Now watch how he holds this forehand until the very last second. He waits, he waits, he waits, and finally finds the opening. Again, great preparation. See how he waits on it? Just that little pause freezes Kafelnikov.
3 breaks now. 3 break points for Agassi and a second serve. Oh, that's long. Finally an error from Agassi. He makes that forehand. There is Larry Stefanki.
I'm sure he's certainly concerned. Kafelnikov is in a dogfight here today. I mean, Agassi is bringing out his best tennis.
The break, Agassi, 2-love as Gilbert looks on. Let's have a look now at our Ginsana extra energy point of the first set, and what a point this was, Leaf.
Well, these guys have played so beautifully the whole day, but watch Agassi playing some great defense here. Comes up with the backhand pass, and this was in the tiebreaker and helped secure it for Agassi and get him that first set.
And that's our Ginsana extra energy point of the first set. 2-love Agassi now. We want to wish a special hello to Charlie Brotman, the official PA announcer here for many, many years, for over 30 years to be exact. Charlie, not feeling too well at the beginning of this week, was unable to attend, but we're all thinking about him and wishing him well.
Boy, look at that. Lipenti and Curtin both at 42. Look at who's hot on their trail. Agassi and Kafelnikov.
Lipenti with a win over there in Indianapolis earlier today over Vince Spadia, so he's on a roll. And Agassi on a roll here.
Barry, have you ever seen Agassi serve better?
No, he has served brilliant all week long.
I mean, his first serve, it's really got some juice on it. 119 there, but certainly well placed, and he just seems to be hammering it and then taking some chances occasionally on his second serve as well.
Let first serve. Agassi ready to change over.
You know, Barry, I can remember being on the Davis Cup team with Andre Agassi back in '88, and he used to say to Tom Gorman, our captain, he'd say, you know, what do you think about before you serve? I tell you, he's put it together about how to use the serve as a weapon. And we're seeing that here today.
Agassi watches that ball drop inside.
Well, I think we've all done that on occasion as tennis players. You know, we let the ball go thinking it's going to go out. And it lands about a foot in.
Ooh.
Boy, that is a bad feeling, isn't it?
So for all those mixed doubles players that played this morning, and the husband let the wife let the ball go in. Mabel, why'd you let that ball go in? 40-15. Suddenly that 40-love lead starts to disappear. Spectacular return from Kafelnikov. He's somehow got his racket on that ball for the half volley.
Now watch this return. See how he stays down on it. Boy, Agassi covered the volley, but he just couldn't control it.
Advantage. Agassi.
Wide.
Agassi continuing to serve well.
hit from the forehand of Kafelnikov. And Agassi now 3-love, second set.
Agassi. Love 15.
Agassi, 3-love now, second set, and love 15. And Andre has suddenly tried something a little different today. He is behind the baseline on the return of serve. We'll see if he keeps it up. He was 2 or 3 feet behind. Now he's moved up to the baseline. That's his normal right there. No.
15 off.
There's the return stance. A couple feet behind.
That's persons.
But as the toss goes up, I think he scoots forward right onto the baseline. He's just on it or just behind it.
30-15.
He has such tremendous hands and tremendous eyes. I mean, he sees the ball, picks it up so early, and makes his hands work so well.
Kafelnikov sets everything up just like he wants it, Leaf, and then misses the sitter forehand.
Well, Agassi again with a high rolling ball. And Agassi's changed the pace up well today. He's thrown up a lot of high shots that have really disturbed the rhythm. And I think this is such a different shot from what he's used to hitting during the day against Andre. He just blew that one in the bottom of the net.
Big points here for Kafelnikov. He does not want to get down 2 breaks. Just over the baseline, a delayed call by the baselinesman.
I mean, it felt like there were 2 fighters, boxers in the middle of the ring, just swinging at each other, cracking baseline shots back and forth.
That's long.
Wow. These guys play with amazing tempo. Agassi likes to hit the ball hard and have it returned back hard.
Yeah, they're just eating up each other's pace. Kafelnikov elects not to let that ball drop. Very risky overhead, but he puts it away.
That defensive lob has really paid off for Agassi today. But this time, Kafelnikov sets up, and boy, he's pretty casual with it. Pretty nice angle.
Wow. No call, right on the sideline.
That's just casual brilliance. He just routinely took this return and knocked it off for a winner. He's making the impossible look easy.
Another error, and now Agassi with a chance here to break and go up 4-love.
And I'll tell you what, this is a key point for Agassi. You know, if Kafelnikov comes back, wins this game, builds up some momentum, I think Agassi really needs to get this point, break for a second time, and get a little bit of cushion here, because Kafelnikov is not done for the day.
And a big serve from Kafelnikov when he needs it, 115 miles per hour.
And it looked like he was coming in behind that serve. So an interesting change of tactic there from Kafelnikov.
Well, in L.A., Leaf, we saw Agassi with 2 big opportunities to win that second set against Sampras. Sampras big served him on both of those points. Agassi now slowing Kafelnikov down. He wasn't ready.
Max versus.
And Agassi continuing to return from behind that baseline. That's a winner. Maybe it just gives him that extra split-second lead. It worked that time.
Yeah. Again, more casual brilliance. Ho-hum. Let me just knock off another serve. That's just incredible.
Second serve now.
It was only 120-mile-an-hour serve, Barry. Knocked it off for a winner.
It's out. That will go long, and Agassi has broken once again. 4-love Agassi. Let's take a look at the Charles Schwab winning way ATP Tour prize money board.
The Winning Way, presented by Charles Schwab.
Well, the best players in the world have been earning the most money, and there's Andre Agassi sitting atop Pete Sampras and Gustavo Kuerten, and of course Rafter, Carlos Moya down at 10, and certainly Kafelnikov doing well at number 5. So some guys earning some big money on the tour.
And at the end of the year, Charles Schwab will make a donation to the favorite charity of the player winning the most money on the ATP Tour.
Well, that second break has to help Agassi, but certainly no time again to let up. You know, you want to put your opponent away. And Jimmy Connors was the master of this, closing someone out. And certainly now the pressure on Agassi to close out.
Things go long. Speaking of the ATP Tour, the Sportsman of the Week this week is Alex Correia. He spent some time autographing kids there during the week here at the tournament. Correia was a big hit at the Cartoon Network Smash Tennis on Monday. So the tour will donate $5,000 in Correia's name to the USTA National Junior Tennis League. The program started back in '94, and over $400,000 has been raised for the NJTL, thanks to the players and the ATP Tour. Congratulations to Alex Correia, Sportsman of the Week. And that controlled two-hander up the line.
You know, I think Agassi is sending a clear message that he is ready for the U.S. Open. I mean, this has just been an impressive display from the first point on.
You have to wonder if our friend Pete Sampras, wherever he is today, is watching a little of this. I doubt it. He's probably out playing golf. Game point, Agassi. Oh, come on, Andre. A full swing on a forehand volley from 2 feet inside the baseline. I don't believe it. Agassi, 5-love, second set. $15-love Kafelnikov as he is down love 5 now to Agassi. Agassi continuing to go for it. I would too with a 5-love lead. Topspin lob. Just long. A little delay in that call from the linesman just over the baseline. 40-love.
Well, this topspin lob doesn't miss by much. Boy, very close.
A lot of whistles from the crowd at this end of the court. They thought it caught that baseline. Oh, Agassi drills the two-hander.
14-15.
Wow, this is amazing. Just takes that on the rise and knocks it off.
Game.
And finally, an error from Agassi. Kafelnikov holds. It's 5-1 Agassi. Second set. The executive producers of Fox Sports Net are Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. The coordinating producer for Fox Sports Net is Larry Myers. Today's championship match produced by Harold Hecht and directed by Bruce Troit. Well, Agassi now ready to serve for the championship. The number 2 seed. One game away.
15 love.
15 love, 3 points away. Slice goes wide. 15 all. Let and a fault. My colleague Leif Shiras has headed courtside just in case this match ends. We'll try and get a word with the winner. Oh. And finally, Kafelnikov outmaneuvers Agassi. That has been a rarity today.
15-13.
Kafelnikov in the backcourt now just tries to keep that ball deep. Now watch this. Agassi makes his move, just hesitates for a moment. And that cost him the point. 15-30. Another winner from Kafelnikov, and suddenly Evgeny Kafelnikov now refusing to go away. It's double break point.
You
see again with that spin serve out wide. He has mixed it up so well. Still break point. Called wide. Kafelnikov thought he had it. That ball called wide, and we are at deuce. Leaf, your courtside. What's it like down there? Very calm up here. No wind at all, I don't think.
It is pretty calm down here, but it's always amazing to watch these guys up close like this. You really, you realize how fast they are and how quickly they're making the ball travel across the net.
Agassi 2 points away now from the championship. That will go wide. And so now Andre Agassi has arrived at championship point as Brad Gilbert looks on. We talked about revenge as this match started for the big loss 2 weeks ago in Montreal, Canada, when Kafelnikov beat Agassi very quickly. Championship point. Goes for the ace out wide. Second serve. There it is. And Agassi has done it.
Agassi wins by 2 sets to love, 7-6, 6-1.
A brilliant display from both players, but Andre Agassi cannot play much better than he did this afternoon. A big hand from this crowd. Standing ovation for the number 2 seed, including his coach, Brad Gilbert. Agassi with his patented 4 bows to each side of this great